some really good sessions. I'm here to make sure that we take the same step ahead and we can carry on the flow. Okay? The goal that we have set for today is a big one. We are here to master the art of Salesforce reporting. Now, with that said, what do we really mean with that? What do we really mean when we say mastering an art, right? So, if you ask me, mastering an art is a lifelong process. It's not something that you do overnight. It takes steps, it takes efforts, it takes time, it takes dedication, and most importantly, it takes all the effort that you can put in into it, right? So my name is Sahil Dhatrak. I'm an associate director with Infobeans. I have been with the Salesforce ecosystem for more than a decade. So I'll be sharing, some tidbits of my knowledge with all of you guys over here. This is the forward-looking statement. I'm quite sure all of you have seen this a lot of times. What this basically means is, do your due diligence before you actually go ahead and make any kind of purchasing decisions. Let's take a quick look at the agenda that we have for today. So the most important piece, again, what we are starting with is what really makes a good Salesforce report. Okay? Now, what does really mean to have a good Salesforce report? And this question was the one that got me thinking a lot of years ago. I still remember the day. It was 8 years ago. I was in a meeting with my team members, and one of a very senior person just walked up to me. His name was Ram. He walked up to me and he asked me, Sahil, what makes a really good Salesforce report? And being young and cocky, I just said, well, if it does all the things that I need it to do, it tells me my information, it's a good Salesforce report. He just replied with one simple word. He just replied, interesting. And that really got me thinking, right? Was my definition of good Salesforce report different from his? Probably, right? So I went ahead, I asked different people, and that I understood that a good Salesforce report is a lot of different things. It is a combination. It is a process that takes you there. So what I came up with were 4 main pillars of a good Salesforce report, right? A lot of things to take over here. I'll stand by here for a moment. Go ahead and click your photos. So the main crux of it, the main crux of a good Salesforce report is that the report has to be purposeful. If you're working on a report and it is just plainly out of the task that has been assigned to you, it's not gonna work out. Your report has to be purposeful. It has to be driven with an agenda. Either you're tracking a performance, right? Either you're identifying trends, or you're going to make a decision in terms of the service that you're offering. These are the purposes that are going to drive your reports and dashboards. But what good are they if they're not data driven and timely, right? That's the second most important pillar. Your reports and dashboards that you're giving out have to be on the right data and have to be sent out to the right people on the right time. That's the most important aspect of it. But again, we ask the same question to ourselves. Is it good enough, right? If I have a purposeful report, it is data driven and timely, but if it's not user friendly, it's going to fall face front, right? So the report has to be really, really user friendly. By what that we really mean? We mean use charts. We mean to make it visually appealing. We may ensure that it has to be very easy to understand, even to someone who is new to Salesforce. Okay? But then, what's the final piece? It has to be shareable, because a lot of decisions that are taken in businesses, in organizations, are not taken by an individual. It is taken by a board, it is taken by a team, right? So if I'm the only person looking at that report, it's not really going to be useful. It has to be a lot of people. It has to be the right people that are looking at it. That's going to drive your reporting, okay? And these are really the 4 crucial pillars. If we miss out even one of these, our agenda is going to fail. So always keep these 4 pillars in mind. Now let's get to the good part, the best practices, the do's of Salesforce reporting. Well, when we are talking about the best practices, I just usually bifurcate into 3 simple areas. The one that I'm using for creating a report, the one that I refer to while sharing a report, and the most important one while improving the performance. Go ahead, take your picks. So let's talk a bit about creating reports, right? Again, the first thing that I always aim on is whenever you are starting with a report, the idea, the conception of a report has to be very clear. You have to have a very clear goal in your mind that this is what I want to achieve. I want to see the customer satisfaction scores. I want to see the customers that need help. Those are the ones that I'm tending to now. This is a very clear, concise goal, and this is what we are aiming for, right? Then again, as we saw previously, shout out to all those previous sessions that we had. You have to use the right report types. Report types is something that is usually missed, right? We go ahead, directly jump into the reports, have or use the standard report types that we have, and never really think about much. So always cater to the right report types. If you don't have the report type that you're looking at, take a step back, go to your setup, set that report type up. That is going to take your reporting to the next level because it is going to save a lot of time while analyzing that data, right? And then use charts and tables because the more visually appealing it is, the more the people are going to look at it. So it has to be really, really visually appealing and also entice your audience while looking at them. Now, the second aspect that we are aiming towards is while sharing a report. Again, one of the four important pillars of reporting. Sharing a report is very important because again, the decisions that are driven by a team. And if I'm the only individual that is looking at a report, it's not really going to be useful. So make sure that you share the reports with the right individual. Use the stock standard Salesforce folders that we have while creating reports. Because Salesforce has a lot of beautiful tools already made available to us, and we leverage those first. So we have our reports, we have our folders. Make sure that they are shared with the right team members, make sure that they are shared with the right group of users, and now your report analyzing experience for your end users is taken up a notch, right? And finally, improving performance. The worst thing that we can do while looking at a report is letting the report load for minutes at end. If I'm looking at a report, the report should load up. That's it. That's basically what I want. That's a good report for me. So if you're reporting on a specific data set, if it is a huge data set, make sure you're using index fields. Make sure you are scheduling your reports or your processes to run on a time that are light, right? Which also takes off your loads from other jobs, other processes that are executing. So that way your reporting performance improves gradually. The tips and tricks. I know this is what you all have been waiting for, so let's run through this. We'll spend some time on this. The most important one, leverage the Salesforce mobile app. This is really crucial, right? Because whenever we are talking about Salesforce reporting, the first thing that comes to our mind is our website, is a Salesforce, is the laptop, the desktop view that comes to my mind, right? But we have to remember that most of us will be traveling a lot of time, and those reports are really crucial. So I don't want to open up my laptop. I have the Salesforce mobile app. It has all the capabilities that we are looking for. So always ensure that whenever you are teaching your audience, when you are training your end users to use the Salesforce reports, make sure that they leverage the Salesforce mobile app for it. It's a beautiful tool to go ahead with. The second one is using report charts on your page layouts. Now, I know we have talked about report charts, but again, those were on your reports. This is different. Here we are talking about showing those charts directly at the record page, and you can do that without even going in and coding anything. It's a simple configuration, and we'll be looking at a couple of examples of those, right? This will give you another level of analysis when you are digging into data, whenever you are analyzing your data sets. Using external data sources, Salesforce reporting, a very, very powerful tool. You don't want it restricted just to your Salesforce data set. So always ensure that you use your external data sources, leverage them into Salesforce, run your reports and analytics on those too. Subscribing to dashboards. Again, shout out to those previous sessions. Don't go to the dashboard, let the dashboard come to you, right? So it would be great for me if I receive my dashboard, if I receive my details first thing Monday morning 9 a.m. Why do I have to even log in? Make sure that your users subscribe to the right dashboards so that they are sent the details and they are not searching for the details. Okay? Using dashboard filters, another very important and powerful tool which usually gets neglected. And we'll be looking at an example of this one too. So if you're using dashboards and they have common stages, common fields, you can put dashboard level filters that help you filter out the entire dashboard that you're looking at without making any configurational changes. Very crucial, very important. Getting feedback from your users. These are the individuals that determine how good your report is, how good your dashboard is. I might feel that my report, my dashboard is just perfect, it does everything. But if the end user doesn't, agree with that, it's gonna be a completely different picture. So always make sure that you go back to the users, you ask them for feedback, you ask them what can I do to make it better? Do I make, do I add a couple of filters? Do I make the data set smaller? Do I need to reduce the time window? There are a lot of things that you can always improve, tidbits that take the reporting and the analysis experience up a notch. And can you guess what the final tip and trick could be? Simple one, practice. No matter how good a person is, he can never beat a person who has practiced his skill set over and over again over 10 years. You cannot beat that. So always ensure that you go back, practice everything that you have done, right? Now, the one that we have been waiting for, a couple of examples that about what we just talked for. Now, if I have your attention towards the left, right, this is the kind of Salesforce reporting capability that I'm talking about. This Salesforce dashboard on the Salesforce mobile app looks brilliant. You have all the necessary information. You have your report chart. I'm looking at it through the standard Salesforce mobile app, right? So you have all the capability in the palm of your hand. No need to open up the laptop. I'm in my flight, I have these details, right? I'm traveling, I have these details. I don't really need to do any additional stuff to get that information. Now, if I have your attention over on the right side, this is the other section that I was talking about. Adding report charts to pages, to record level page layouts. So what I have over here is an order report being showcased directly on an account page. And what we are seeing is the bifurcation for that specific account. And trust me, you don't have to go and build 10,000 reports. If you have 10,000 accounts, it would be just one report, add it to the page layout, set the filter, and then you will get this result. Not really rocket science, very simple, but if you kind of analyze the impact that he has, it tells me the product share and it also tells me the order trend over time. So it's helping me get a complete picture whenever I'm looking at or tending to a customer, right? It helps out the sales team members a lot, and sales team people, I know you're gonna agree with me on this one. Let's take a look at the next one, right? Now, because we have spent a lot of time talking about dashboards being utilized on the Salesforce mobile app, let's take a look at side-by-side comparisons. So what we have over here is the same dashboard being showcased to us over the Salesforce mobile app and the desktop version. So we have a service dashboard. It is giving me all the necessary information. It is allowing me to understand what are my service bifurcations, what are the different channels, how is the data flowing in, what is the trend, right? What is the handle time compared to my CSAT? Now, another very important criteria, customer satisfaction. And this tells me the moment that the handle time goes up, my customer satisfaction scores are dropping. This entails and impacts my image in the longer run. So this is probably an area that I need to concentrate more on, right? Similarly, we have additional details like the revenue generated by agents, the handle time by different channels. So we are able to showcase such crucial information analytics to all our users when they are using the Salesforce mobile app. And you can see it is not different at all from what we have on the desktop version. It's basically the same thing, right? And what did I do additionally? I just downloaded the Salesforce mobile app and logged in through my credentials. That's all we have to do. And it takes the user experience up a notch whenever you are working with end customers that are on the field in the market and need access to details, right? Now, finally, call to action, driving success, how we do it. I have 3 very, very easy steps for you. first and foremost, learn more. Go back. We have Trailhead. We have all the important documentation that we need for free, right? Go over to Trailhead, do the trail mixes. If you need links on those, feel free to get in touch with me. I'll be over here. I'll share those details with you. You have your help center, you have your developer guide if you need to take it up a notch. You have everything available to you. Get that done. The most important step is reevaluate. Now, we have taken a lot of peeks, we have seen a lot of details. The main point to take back over here is we go back, we take a look at all the reports and dashboards that have been developed and see if the best practices are being followed. See if we are adhering to all the tips, tricks, and all the important activities that we talked about. And finally, when you're done with that, send those dashboards out to all the users, ask for their feedback, and keep on improving. This is the path to success that we need to take. With that, I would like to thank you everyone for attending this session, and please share your feedback because this is my first time presenting and I would like to really know what I want to improve over here. So please go ahead, scan the code and give your feedback. I'll be over here, side stage, so if you guys want to catch up, talk about things, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day. Woo!
It's me again. If you answered one of the questions and
Thank you for watching. We would love to get your opinion on this content, so please leave us some feedback on the comments section below. If you did like this content, give that like button a tap, and of course, if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the Salesforce Admin's YouTube channel. If you want to learn more about being a Salesforce admin in general, head on over to admin.salesforce.com. Thanks again.